Yes, hello everyone, and welcome to Project Trinity Weekly Podcast. Thank you so much for always following with us, for always joining us on every Wednesday. So today we are stepping into a conversation that speaks directly to the future of our work, to the future of technology, and the future of communities that have too often been left outside of the global economy. Our today's conversation will focus on from remote communities to the global AI economy, how Project Trinity is redefining this opportunity. For many years, talent has existed everywhere in the cities, in the villages, remote regions, and communities far from traditional centers of opportunity. But while talent has always been there, access has not always been equal. Many young people have the creativity, they have the intelligence, determination, and hunger to grow, but they've not always had that stable power, reliable internet, digital infrastructure, or visible pathways into meaningful work. That is the gap Project Trinity is working to close. Through solar powered infrastructure, Starlink connectivity, secure digital workspaces, AI assisted learning, and real project based production, Project Trinity is proving that opportunity does not have to be limited by geography. This is not a story about technology, it is the story about dignity. It's about confidence. It's about young people realizing that they do not have to leave their communities behind in order to participate in the future. Today, I am joined by Philemon and Max Miller, and together we'll explore how Project Trinity is helping remote communities move from the margins of the digital world into the center of the global AI economy. So stay with us because this conversation is more than connection. It's about possibility, it's about transformation, and it's about redefining opportunity for a new generation. Philemon and Max Miller, please welcome and introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Valerie. Uh, and to our listeners, welcome to our today podcast. I am so thrilled to join you today to share the insights. My name is Philemon Lochalinga, and Project Trinity Associate, specialized in creative storytelling and brand experience. And also, I did major in college. I did major in medical engineering. So I'm so happy to join you today to share my story and the insights of Project Trinity. So welcome all to our Kenyan listeners and to our USA and whole world. Karibuni sana.
Hello, my name is Maximila Gacherian, a Project Trinity Associate. Today, I'm excited to share about Project Trinity progress and stay tuned.
Well, now let's get into the discussion. Yeah, so Philemon, let me start with you. Philemon, we often say that Project Trinity is not just bringing internet to remote communities, but creating access to global economy. When you hear that, what does it mean to you?
Wow, that is quite impressive. To me personally, this means that we are creating pathways instead of simply creating connections. As we know, internet gives people access, but it's alone. But global economic access gives people access to opportunities. internet gives us access to internet and we can cite things. But now, what Project Trinity is doing is giving people global economy access. I mean, so it gives us access to opportunities, careers, skills, and participation in world economy. Growing up, many talented young people in remote communities have the ability to succeed, but they have also always lacked the access. Now, Project Trinity changes that by allowing someone in a remote area like me from top, a very remote area in Kenya, to compete. I can actually compete, work, learn, and contribute globally without having to leave the community. And we continue supporting our community with the project. So that means a lot. It means that we are redefining the story. So thank you, Falai. I think I have tried my best to elaborate.
Wow, that is such an important way to begin, Philemon, because that reminds us that getting the internet alone is not the story, but getting that access is the real story. So the real question is, what happens when a community that was once disconnected suddenly has a doorway now into the global economy? Max Miller, let's bring that to a human level.
Okay, when I look at the community Project Trinity serves, I see transformation that is deeper than just access to technology. I also see transformation in mindset, confidence, and possibility. And in many remote communities, people are talented, hardworking, and also full of potential, but they have often lacked access to the systems that connect them to bigger opportunities. So when Project Trinity brings digital infrastructure, training, and real work opportunities, it begins to change how people see themselves, their communities, and also transformation start when people realize that they do not have to be left out of the global economy. They begin to understand also that meaningful digital work can happen from where they are. They begin to understand that meaningful digital work happen from where they are. And young people or a young person who once thought opportunity only existed maybe in Nairobi or in any other country, because we are in a small community here in West Pokot, people thought earlier that opportunity existed far, example in Nairobi and also in big cities. But imagine a future from their own community. Now, that is a powerful because transformation is not only about building technology. It also it's also about belief. It's about people saying, maybe I can do this. Maybe my community can be part of something global. I also see that transformation in how communities begin to value learning. Digital skills become more than just technical knowledge. They become a doorway to digital income, confidence, and also leadership. So for me, the biggest transformation is this. Project Trinity is helping communities move from being seen as remote or forgotten to being recognized as places of talent, innovation, and the future opportunity. That's why I see the biggest transformation in what Project Trinity is doing today.
Wow, I love that perspective, Max Miller, because transformation is not always seen in seen first in buildings or through technology. But sometimes it begins with in people's confidence, how people perceive themselves, how people see themselves or know who they are. So it begins with people's language, their own language, their dreams, and the way they start seeing, yeah, the way they start seeing themselves. So Philemon, let's now connect the human change back to infrastructure. When a community has a stable power and high speed internet for the first time, what changes immediately? What becomes possible for a young person that was difficult before?
Thank you, Valerie, once again. And also to add on, before I answer this, to add on what Max Miller was saying, when a community that was actually left behind before is connected, a lot of things do happen. And I will just add one thing, like the economical development, and we are all witnesses of this. Earlier, before when the Project Trinity was brought up here at top, the level of businesses were a bit low. But when Project Trinity came, actually there is a lot of economic development from starting from we the we the businesses have started to sell more. They have started to create more jobs, and also we have a lot of dreams that are coming to be true. So this community is getting into a town, as a small center getting into a town. So to that question, when we have now stable power and high speed connectivity, uh, to this remote community, stable power and reliable connectivity removes barriers that many people never think about. Suddenly, learning becomes continuous, communication becomes instant, and work becomes accessible. A young person no longer has to travel long distance to access these uh, these resources. They can learn coding, digital skills, digital marketing, AI tools, collaboration internally, and even with the other region, like we do the Project Trinity. We collaborate between US and Kenya, so we can actually do the collaboration, and even we can even build businesses directly from their for their community, for their communities actually. And also with the small incomes that maybe we might get through working and everything, we can actually develop our communities. Our communities will grow bigger, and our families also will begin to have something to support them. So when we have stable power and high speed connectivity, we can actually reach to many people. We can actually show what we are doing. So this is a real transformation from Project Trinity, giving access to this high power. We having the pod, we having the Trinity Tech Center, and we having the internet. It is actually mind blowing to have this at once. It is actually enabling things which are far away to be here. We can do a lot of things while seated in our community. We can support businesses while seated in our community. We can actually train, we can give something to our community, like we remember some kids usually come around here to see computers, because they have in this community we don't have a computer hub where they can see computers. So school children or students, they get chance to learn something from us. So it is mind blowing to have this high speed connectivity and the power. So thank you so much.
Wow, that is powerful, Philemon. Yeah, you've explained very well that because of stable power and connectivity, everything now is the businesses are growing and everything now is running well in this remote community. So Yeah, we all know that stable power and connectivity may sound something very simple, but for many young people, they can they can be there can be the difference between watching the world move forward and then finally being part of that movement. So, Max Miller, from your side, what does that visibility do to young people? How does it affect young people when they see global digital work happening right there in their own community instead of only hearing it about from far away?
Okay, Valerie. When you talk about visibility, um, this changes their mindset because it makes opportunity visible. And many young people grow up hearing that about technology and also global work, AI, and digital careers. But those things can feel very far away when they are not visible in their own environment. They may think that that is far for people in big cities, maybe, or that is for people who already have access. But when they see someone from their own community doing digital work, learning new tools, joining professional conversations, and contributing to global projects, it becomes real. And that visibility is very important. Young people are inspired by what they can see. When they see someone who looks like them, comes from a similar background, and still manages to participate in digital work, it gives them permission to dream bigger. And also changes how they define success. Instead of thinking that success only means leaving the community, they begin to understand that they can grow and learn and contribute while still being connected to their roots in their communities. This can also be build discipline. Once young people realize that digital work is possible, they begin to take learning more seriously. They become curious about skills like communication, computer use, and research, data, and AI tools. Also, teamwork and professionalism. So, the mindset shift is very strong. They stop asking, can someone like me be part of this? And that and they start asking, what skill do I need to begin? That's where real motivation starts. That's all, Valerie.
Wow, that's so inspiring, Max Miller. That's exactly where mindset begins to shift. When young people no longer see opportunity as something far away, but now they begin to imagine a future that includes them. I think that's very amazing. That you are not limited by opportunity because you are in the remote part of the world. So Philemon, let's talk about the bigger belief that opportunity only belongs in to people in big cities, because I think many people still feel that serious opportunities are only found in big cities. From what you've seen, how is Project Trinity helping change that belief?
Uh, Thank you so much, Valerie. And actually, it is true that bigger opportunities are actually found in big cities. Up to recently now that Project Trinity came to this society. So I would like to just share a glimpse of a story, a real world story that happened when we were the grand opening ceremony. And I was just going around and I met with some big guy from the city, and he was coming with the PS, and he was asking me like, okay, what are you guys using to get connected, and what are you guys doing? And I showed them what we usually do. I showed them what one of our podcasts, and He was like, wait a minute, is this real? Like, okay, you do this here, you stream from here. And I told him, yes, why not? And he was amazed, like, what? I don't believe this. Uh, how is it possible that you can do this thing from here, from top? And so actually, when Project Trinity has for a long time, the cities has been always with the centers of the opportunity and with the centers of advancement and getting jobs. But now, Project Trinity is changing that thinking by bringing infrastructure directly to this community. For example, we have the pod, we have the internet, we have the solar powered energy. Another also, if a person has connectivity, digital tools, training, and global network, then the opportunity is no longer tied to the geography. Talent exists everywhere. Access has simply been uneven. Project Trinity is helping to close the gap. With all these resources, with all when Project Trinity is opening this access, is giving the community access. This means that you can actually work from home. You don't have to go to Nairobi, to go to Eldoret or Mombasa to get these opportunities for AI. You don't need to work online to go Nairobi to work online. You can actually work online while seated in your community. So Project Trinity has actually up the game. They are up to the game because they have really levelized, and to this far, it is this we can compete equally with the people who are in the cities. So Project Trinity has leveled the gap. That is all.
Wow, that's very amazing, Philemon. For me, I remember a time, to add on your point, I remember a time I was in an urban area coming now to here, West Pokot top for work. So I got a friend who told me that, where are you going? I told that friend that I'm going to top West Pokot. Then she was saying that you're going to a rural area and people are coming to urban area to look for jobs. I think they don't know how Project Trinity is working. I told them that where I'm going, it's more it's more than it's more advanced than the urban areas where they're looking for jobs. And that's where Project Trinity has taken us to. So, Philemon, for real, what you've just said, that's a strong point. Because one of the greatest barriers is not only about physical distance, but it's the belief that distance means disadvantage. Because many people means that when you are far away from the urban areas, you are more disadvantaged. But Project Trinity is challenging that. We all see that. Yeah. So Max Miller, when our young people begin to see a real pathway, what changes? How does Project Trinity? We know that Project Trinity talks a lot about feasible career pathways. Why do you think it matters for young people to clearly see a path from learning to skills to getting the real work?
Okay. Feasible career pathways are powerful because young people need direction, not just encouragement. And sometimes we tell young people, work hard, be focused, or believe in yourself. Those are good messages, but they are not enough. If a young person cannot see where their effort is leading, feasible career pathways helps them to connect today's learning with tomorrow's opportunity. For example, when a young person sees that learning digital skills can lead to training, then real work experience, then income, then in leadership, they begin to understand the journey. It becomes practical. It becomes something maybe they can follow step by step. That is very important because many young people lose motivation when their future feels unclear. They may have ambition, but without a pathway, they do not know where to begin. Project Trinity helps make the path visible. It shows that growth is not magic. It builds through maybe skills, mentorship, discipline, teamwork, and opportunity. And visible pathways also help young people believe that their effort matters. When they see others progressing, they begin to say, if they can do it, maybe I can also do it. This is powerful because it turns hope into structure, it turns dreams into action, it gives youth something to aim for. For me, that is one of the greatest impacts of Project Trinity. It does not only inspire young people, it shows them a possible route forward. Thank you.
Wow, that's so meaningful, Max Miller, because a physical pathway turns up into something practical. If it tells a young person there is a next step, and then that young person will continue, will get that curiosity to explore, to get into the next step, and there is a direction. So there is a future for that young person. So Philemon, let's now talk about the role technology plays in making that pathway real. Let's talk about technology itself. In your view, how does technology help remote communities move from being left out to becoming active players in the global AI-driven workforce?
Uh, Thank you, Valerie. Actually, technology acts as a bridge. It allows people to move beyond local limitations and connect with international opportunities. In the AI-driven workforce, many jobs rely on collaboration, digital systems, and access to information rather than physical location. Technology gives communities the ability to contribute skills, solve problems, uh, innovations, and become active participants in instead of observers. Uh, Actually, this now technology that we are talking about is the one that Project Trinity has brought to this community. So this technology is enabling the local society to reach markets. You remember, you can with technology you can market your own goods. You can actually participate in the AI driven research. You can do research. You can do a lot of things with the technology. So these tools that we've got from Project Trinity, having the computers, having the internet, having the power, and the Trinitech Center, the big Trinitech Center, the pod. This is this is the technology that we are talking about. This is what it has been brought to this society, to this young person from top, uh, to enable them to actually participate in the global economy and compete for jobs. We can actually apply a job while seated here at the top. You can apply a job and you can be selected to do the job from US or from UK, from Russia, anywhere in the world. So this technology uh, leverage acts as leverage for a person from community that was actually had been left behind. So I think that is all I have tried to exhaust here.
Wow, that that shows us that shows us clearly that technology is not just about the devices, the softwares, or the connection speed. At its best level, we see that technology becomes a bridge, and connecting local talent to a global demand. That's well stated, Philemon. So, and just a disclaimer before we continue, today we celebrate our Muslim brothers and sisters. So, let's give them a big shout to all our Muslim listeners, all our Muslim brothers, sisters. Yeah, they're celebrating their Hail Hal Hadha today. So I just want to tell them that we see you, we appreciate you, and we are wishing you nothing but love, peace, and great moments with your family and friends. Enjoy the celebration and Eid Mubarak from all of us. Yeah, let's give the Muslims, let's wish them in the comment section their celebration, Hail Al Hadha today. So, yeah, so let's continue with the conversation. So, Max Miller, when people gain access to digital work and begin to see themselves as capable of celebrating, of contributing their skills globally, how does that affect their dignity, confidence, and hope?
Okay, access to digital work brings dignity because people are no longer only waiting for support, they are contributing. That difference is very important. When someone is given the opportunity to learn, work, and contribute meaningfully, they begin to see themselves differently. They are not just receiving help, they are using their mind, their time, their skills, and their effort to create value. That brings confidence. A person who may have once felt ignored or left behind begins to realize I have something to offer. Even completing a digital task, joining a team meeting, learning a new platform, or contributing to a project can change how someone feels about themselves. It also brings hope because digital work opens the imagination and also shows people that their future can be bigger than their current situation. When someone understands that they can connect to global opportunities from their own community, hope becomes more realistic. And this also where dignity comes in. Dignity is not only about income; it's also about being trusted, being respected, and being seen as capable. When Project Trinity creates access to digital work, it helps people move from feeling excluded to feeling included. And for many young people, uh, that feeling can be life changing. It tells them that they are not they are not behind because they lack potential. They simply needed access, training, and opportunity to begin. Thank you.
Wow, that's very beautiful, Max Miller. They only need the access, training, and the opportunity to begin. Yeah, that's well stated, and I think our listeners have gotten it well. Yeah, we see that opportunity does not only change what what people do; it changes how they see themselves. It restores their confidence, their pride, and a sense of belonging in the future. Yeah, and that's you've stated it well. So Philemon, let's look at the systems that make that possible. Project Trinity uses things like solar power, Starlink connectivity, secure workspaces, and pod systems. For someone listening who may not understand the technical side, why are these tools also economic tools?
Wow. Uh, nice question, Valerie. Uh, Actually, the solar powered, the solar power, the internet, and the computers. They are not just tools, but they are economic tools. They are not just technical tools, but they are economic tools. People sometimes hear terms like solar, Starling, or and digital workspace, and think that of them as purely technical infrastructure. But these tools create something much bigger than technology. Uh, Solar power creates reliable energy, uh, where traditional infrastructure may be limited. Uh, Connectivity through systems like the Starlink creates access to global information and communication. Uh, Secure digital workspace creates environment where collaboration and professional work can happen efficiently. When these systems work together, they create ecosystem where productivity becomes possible. Economic activity cannot thrive without infrastructure. Businesses cannot operate efficiently without reliable systems. And also, learning cannot continue without access. Jobs cannot be performed without this connectivity. These tools are economic tools because they create the foundation that allows communities to participate in the modern economy and actually compete in the global market for jobs. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, that's awesome, Philemon. Yeah. So, and you've made a great distinction between them, between the solar power, Starlink, secure workspaces, and the pod systems, because these tools are not just the equipments. Yeah, they are the foundation for participation, production, and income. So, Max Miller, when a community sees the foundation working, what happens to the community pride?
Okay, community pride begins when people realize that something meaningful is happening among them. When global opportunity come into a remote community, people begin to see their home differently. They start to understand that their community is not just a place of challenges, it's also a place of talent, potential, and also possibility. That pride can be seen in many ways. It can be seen in parents feeling proud that their children are learning digital skills. It can be seen in young people becoming more serious about their future also, and can be seen in community members speaking positively about what is happening because they feel connected to progress. There is something very powerful about seeing opportunity come from within the community. It gives people a sense of ownership. Uh, they are not just watching development happen somewhere else, but they are part of it. Community pride also builds more motivation. When one young person succeeds, others begin to believe they can also succeed. And families see real example of progress. They begin to support learning and digital work more seriously. For me, community pride looks like people saying, "We are capable, we are ready, we can also contribute to the world." That is a very important shift because once a community begins to believe in itself, transformation becomes stronger. And Project Trinity is not only connecting people to global work, it's helping community rediscover their own value. That's all about community connected to global opportunity. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing, Max Miller. That sense of pride is powerful because it spreads. It reaches families, inspires children, motivates leaders, and helps the whole community believe that something new is possible. Yeah, so before we move to Philemon, what's the funniest thing to, you've heard about AI? Maybe in the recent days, is there a day that has passed in without you hearing the word AI? What's the funniest thing that you've heard? Maybe the members in our communities say about AI. Yeah, maybe Philemon, you can say something. Max Miller, yeah, what's the funniest thing you've ever heard about AI? I'll also share mine.
Mm, okay. In my in One of my friends actually really actually was so scared about AI because one of the times I told him, can you type your name in AI and then you see that it will display you? And they say that okay, let's do it. I tried it. I used ChatGPT. It pulled out information from Facebook and from LinkedIn, and this guy was so surprised, like, what the hell? So AI knows me. How did it that? How did it know? So AI is very powerful tool. It does a lot of things, but to our society, I was so okay. I laughed because he didn't realize that the AI tool pulled out the information from LinkedIn and Facebook. I showed him, yeah, this is you. This is your picture, right? So it knows you because I just typed the name and then I showed him. He said, no, 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 no. I fear this thing. This thing can actually do it. Can it steal your money? And I told him, no, no, it cannot do that. So yeah, that's it.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
that's
crazy.
crazy.
Max
Okay,
Miller?
okay. Um, One day I was with my community members. A woman told me, Maximila, bring me your phone. I want to watch something. Now, I gave my phone, and while she was watching, uh, she saw some strange things while watching, and she think that she thought that it was real. But I told this is AI. They can't believe it was AI. They shouted and they said, "This is real. This is real." That was uh, about AI.
Also, I want to add another thing I've just remembered. When we were with Dave the last time he visited, he created a documentary and then he did send to Mr. Was it Matt? Yeah, Mr. Matt. And the documentary was like a magazine from Kenya, from West Pokot actually, and it contained a very big spider. And Mr. Matt was so scared, like, no, 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 I'm not coming again. So actually, AI can do a lot of things. That is the funniest thing about AI. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For me, a day cannot pass without hearing AI. So, because in meetings, AI must be there. So, like, you can just hear someone, your brother, your workmate say, oh, Wi-Fi is working finally. Like, you cannot do anything without hearing these things. So, and now we- you can we use AI in everything. So even in villages, in my village, we are hearing this in terms of now. Like you can imagine your grandmother asking, like, there is a day I was talking about AI, then my grandmother was interested. She was very curious, so she started asking me that. So so this AI, can it also help us fetch water in the river? So, and it was very funny because, yeah, that made me, yeah. So many people have different perspectives about AI. Like, I can also share a story. I was watching a movie, It's called a Black Mirror, where someone can just you can just imagine, like it's in the advanced level of AI. You can just imagine now that you are in a, let's say you are in a vacation somewhere, like you are in Zanzibar, and then after you've imagined, then you get yourself in Zanzibar. So how how does that feel like? When you imagine something, it gets you there. I think that was very scary to me. So to our listeners, you can also share your thoughts about AI. What's the scariest thing you've heard about AI? Yeah. So as we continue, we have one question from Jocelyn. She is asking, how can AI help IT? Yeah, Philemon, Max Miller, share your opinions. How can AI help IT?
Uh, Thank you. Was it Jocelyn? Yes. Thank you so much, Jocelyn, for that question. It depends. AI helps a lot with. It depends with the what we need to help. So AI can actually help to automation of a lot of things in healthcare system, in learning system, and in even in with AI we can automate the security system. So when the government now uses AI and you put in with your security system, it can actually work as an alert for security system. So it AI helps a lot. It depends with the area that of the interest. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. You've shared very well how AI can help to our team in IT. Yeah, because most of the time they have insecurity, and you've said that AI can help in that. So it can also support their education by helping students learn languages, other languages, digital skills, coding, and online work opportunities. Yeah, that's very well elaborated. Max Miller, you have anything to add on that?
No, I don't have something to add. It's much said by Philemon. I don't have something to add on it.
Okay, so we also have another question from Betty. She is asking about what's the difference between AI and humanity.
Okay, about AI and humanity, I think AI thinks faster than human mind. When creating something on AI, it is faster than when you are writing. It takes long time, but when you use AI, it takes shorter time when creating, maybe like a post, and it works easier. That's about it. The difference between AI and humanity.
Wow, that's well stated, Max Miller. AI thinks faster than humans. So to our listeners who are following us right now, write in the comment section, how do you think about AI and humanity? Does it, since Max Miller she has suggested said that AI thinks faster than human. So let's say you are in a work, and then they have started implementing this AI. How safe are you? Do you think AI can replace you? Yeah. What are some of the jobs that you think are going to be taken out by AI as soon as, very quickly? We want to see them in the comment section. Yeah. So as we continue, Philemon, AI is now changing how people learn and work everywhere. How do you see AI helping Project Trinity associates grow their skills and become more competitive?
Uh, Thank you, Valerie. AI is changing learning and professional growth in a very remarkable way. Traditionally, learning often followed a fixed process where everyone moved through the same path and system. Uh, AI creates opportunities and for more personalized and efficient learning experiences. For the Project Trinity associates, they can access information faster, receive guidance when solving problems, and also they can develop skills more efficiently and more effectively. Uh, Professionally, AI also enhances productivity. Tasks that once consumed a large amount of time can now be supported by the intelligent systems, allowing people to focus more on creativity, critical thinking, and innovation. I see AI is not a replacement for people, but as an amplifier to human potential. The future workforce will likely be shaped by individuals who know how to combine human strengths such as empathy, creativity, and judgment with the capabilities of AI tools. Yeah, so that is basically that AI is just an amplifier for us, but it cannot replace us. And for Project Trinity associates, they can amplify their work, they can improve their deliverance. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, that brings us to one of the most exciting parts of this conversation. But before that, we have a question from Robert Robinson. Is asking, will AI do more than the industrial revolution? So is asking if whether AI can do more than industrial revolution. What are your thoughts? Yeah, so for me, Robinson, that's a very nice question. And AI can play a big role as an industrial revolution, maybe even bigger than that. Because it's not just the changing, AI is not just changing the physical work, but it's also thinking work like AI can can now write, analyze, and make decisions on behalf of people. So, but the real answer is this: it depends on how humans use it. So, this if AI can do more than industrial revolution, it will depend on how us as humans use it. So, if it's used well, it can create more opportunity than ever before. If not, it can also increase inequality. So AI will will not automatically do more than the industrial revolution, but it has the potential to but decides but us as a humans, we have that potential to decide what what AI can do. We have the capability. So it depends on us.
Yeah, sure, Valerie. That is really true. AI has potential to be transformative, as you've said, and in some areas possibly transformative than the industrial revolution. Uh, in the industrial revolution primarily changed physical work. Machine increased production, transformed transportation, changed agriculture, and moved societies from manual labor system into industrial economies. AI is just amplifier. It can amplify the industrial, the production of industrial. So something different, human cognitive capabilities. That is how people learn, analyze information, solve problems, communicate, and make decisions. Yeah, that is my share.
Wow, that's amazing. So, Max Miller, why is it important that Project Trinity is focused on long-term opportunity instead of temporary helping or short-term supports?
Hmm. It is important because temporary support may help people for a moment, but long-term opportunity can change generations. And many communities have received short-term support before. It can be helpful, but if it does not create a system for growth, people may return to the same challenges again. And Project Trinity is different because it is focused on building something sustainable. Long-term opportunity means creating infrastructure, building skills, developing professional habits, connecting people to real work, and helping communities become part of the digital economy over time. That kind of model does not just answer one immediate need, it creates a foundation for the future. And this matters especially for young people. They need more than one time encouragement. They need pathways they can grow through. They need to see that if they remain committed, they can continue learning, improve, and also lead. Long-term opportunity also protects dignity and also does not make people dependent. Instead, it empowers them to participate, contribute, and build. That is different between temporary support and true transformation. And temporary support can bring relief, but a long-term opportunity brings direction, stability, and hope for the future. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. And before as we're about to wrap up, we want to recognize our followers from different parts of the world. Big shout out to our listeners tuning in. We have one from Mozambique. We see you, we appreciate you, and we are glad you're part of this conversation. So special shout out to Domingos Dumisa, and also for asking how this program can reach Mozambique. I want to say that that's the way Project Trinity is working. That's the way we are heading to. So we are actively advancing into remote communities around the world. So soon we'll get there to Mozambique. So we are aiming to reach many places, many remote communities, so that those remote communities that are underserved, that are left behind, will get the same technology that people in big cities, in urban communities get. And also shout out to our new listener, Musungu Ifan. Welcome to this conversation. It's always on Wednesdays from 8 a.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Kenyan time. Yeah, it's in the all Wednesdays. So continue following us, continue tuning in. So as we wrap up, as we wind up, so Max Miller, the last question for you. When you think about Kenya, Haiti, and other remote communities around the world, how can Project Trinity inspire people to believe that global opportunity is possible for them too?
Okay. Project Trinity is showing that when we invest in people and infrastructure, many remote areas like Kenya, Haiti, and other parts uh, uh, which have talent, intelligence, and ambitions can access the infrastructure and digital tools. Also, the network that communities get to real opportunities.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, Philemon, let's get to you. As we look ahead, what excites you about the future?
Thank you so much, Falai. And I want to shout out to our listeners that welcome every Wednesday. What excites me most is seeing Project Trinity go into different countries and impacting lives of different people from different worlds. Like to our friend from Mozambique, we can actually, Project Trinity is dreaming that one day we can actually bring a transformation to your society. So that is what excites me so much. Thank you.
Wow. That's a good way to close up with being excited about the future. So thank you so much to our new listeners, to our new followers. Yeah, continue following us. You are always live every Wednesday. So, and also thank you to our guests, Philemon and Max Miller, for such a meaningful and powerful conversation. So, today, in this conversation, we have been reminded that opportunity is not limited by location, but when communities receive the right infrastructure, the right training, and the right support, they can become places of innovation, production, and global contribution. So, Project Trinity is proving that do not have to remain disconnected from the future. So, with stable power, global connectivity, and AI and real work pathways, talent can impact the world. So, to every person listening, your location does not define your potential. Your background does not limit your future. With access, learning, discipline, and opportunity, you can become part of something global. So before you go, make sure you subscribe, you follow, and share this podcast with someone who believes in opportunity, innovation, and community transformation. This has been the Project Trinity Weekly Podcast. Thank you for joining us. And remember, talent is everywhere. And when opportunity reaches it, transformation begins. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.